Peggy 3.
So my name's Stuart Ryle, I'm co-founder and the lead designer at Mojo Bones. I'm here today at this Nintendo event to present Siesta Fiesta, which is our debut 3DS game. Siesta Fiesta is really our sort of love song to old classic arcade games. There's the main inspiration is Breakout, Pong, Arkanoid. We've also got some pinball elements in there with the physics, and on top of that there's classic platform game elements in there with power-ups and pickups, etc. So it's a kind of mishmash of all those different things. So the backstory of the game is that you play, or you're controlling Siesta, who is a sleeping character. He's actually the ball in the Breakout game, and you're controlling the bed and bouncing Siesta around the level. And the backstory really is that he's washed up on this island called Fiestaville, which is full of these characters called Fiesta, hence Siesta Fiesta. So it was this idea of playing with a character that's constantly asleep on this party island where it's really colourful, and we thought it was just a really weird mix, so it worked well. So the side-scrolling element really is quite important in Siesta because you have the ability to miss objects. They will scroll off screen, which is actually something completely unique for a game like this, and that really does aid the replay value because it's a score-based game, it's a medal-based game, so you're encouraged to go back to previous levels that you might have scored a bronze or a silver and sort of perfect the level, learn the layout. And being physics-based as well, with the scroll it means that you're actually interacting with the blocks and bouncing off them in interesting ways, and you kind of get an unpredictable nature to the gameplay, so it just made sense for what we were trying to achieve really. In Siesta Fiesta we've got 56 levels spread across 8 different regions, and one of the things that we've taken from sort of classic platform games is the idea that the gameplay will change as the game goes on. So at the beginning we start off quite simple with bumpers and bricks to break and things to collect like grapes and power-ups, but as you go on we introduce contraptions, bigger power-ups. There's a multi-ball in there as well, which means that you can sort of control more than one character at once and bounce around. We've got other physics-based puzzles, there's bosses as well, so there's a lot of different things sort of in the game as a whole. Each of the 8 regions are bookended with their own boss battle, and really that's an opportunity for us to explore the various different sort of gameplay mechanics. We use physics in some of those as well. We've also got a different bed type, which is like a popper bed, which will fire Siesta up in a straight line, and we'll actually use that to hit one of the boss's weak spots. So it's really an opportunity for us to explore lots of different ideas with each of the 8 bosses. The 3DS was really interesting for us because we've primarily been used to developing for smartphone, but we thought Siesta was a really good fit for obviously the touchscreen, but also the stylus, and 3D was also something that we really wanted to explore, and I think that's, sometimes that kind of gets overlooked, the actual 3D effect on the console. One of the things that we've done with Siesta Fiesta is we've kind of sunk the game in terms of the 3D effect into the screen, so we try and avoid the eye strain, and it's like you're peering into the world of the character. So the 3D effect works really well, and obviously it's just a great fit for the eShop as well, and works perfectly for the dual screen. We've got all of the info on the bottom screen, gameplay on the top screen, so it keeps the gameplay completely free of any other information but the gameplay. So it's just a great fit. I think with Siesta Fiesta, one of the objectives that we wanted to achieve when we started making the game was this idea of trying to appeal to all types of gamers, which sounds like a kind of impossible job, but it's something that we feel that Siesta really does well, because on the surface you've got a very casual game that anyone can play. It's a very simple mechanic where you're just controlling the bed and bouncing Siesta, but then the score-based element means there's a lot of replay value. So I think people that are into the kind of traditional classic old school sort of arcade games or SNES or NES games are really going to appreciate that element too.